Do you want to learn how to spawn a great one black bear here in the Hunter Call of the Wild without watching an extremely long video just to leave confused? Well, if you're new here, my name is Squid. I have nothing but good reviews on my Great One guides. Legitimately nothing. I've never seen a comment from anyone that says they left confused or still don't know what to do. And the reason for that is because my name is Squid. What's up, guys? And I'm known for extreme simplicity and extreme detail in my Great One guides here in the Hunter Call of the Wild. I have been waiting to make this Great One guide for so long, guys. For those of you guys that don't know, the Great One Black Bear grind is actually my favorite grind here in the Hunter Call of the Wild. So waking up this morning and being able to shoot some bears is a very, very good thing. I'm currently over 13,000 kills into my Great One Black Bear grind. It's been a long and miserable process. I really don't know if it'll ever happen, but today I'm going to teach you guys how I've spawned 4 of them. 1 in only 10 kills. So without further ado, guys, if you guys are excited for this video, if you do find it helpful in any way, shape, or form, please let me know down below just simply by hitting the like button, as it is very, very much appreciated and it does get the video pushed to more people just like yourself. As a 16-year-old content creator, kind of a crazy one, I'm setting standards high. We're aiming for 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. We're about to break 20k, so I know we can do it. We got a whole year. Let's freaking go, guys. So without further ado, wasting no more of your time, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Alrighty folks, so the method that I'm going to be teaching you in today's guide is the only method you should ever use to try to spawn a black bear great one. It is so easy, it's stupid, and it's another one of those methods that, believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there who overcomplicate it. So therefore, right off the bat, I am just going to share with you guys a little bit of information. Black bears drink here in Silver Ridge Peaks from 4 until 8. I'll go ahead and toss a general hotspot map up on screen for you guys right now. And that's going to show you all the locations that they can possibly drink at here in Silver Ridge Peaks. Now, I say general hotspot map because there's going to be one other hotspot map for the bears that I'm going to show you here in a little bit that's going to help you out immensely. So the very first thing that I would suggest that you do is go ahead and find the vast majority of your drink zones. Fun fact, right now I only have about 60% of my drink zones, and I've killed about 20,000 black bear. No exaggeration. Like I said, this is my favorite grind. Hello. So yeah, I've definitely killed quite a bit of them. And right now, it's really not that big of a deal of how many zones you find. You want to find probably, let's just say, if you want to be lazy about it like me, let's just go with half of your zones. You don't need to waste a ton of time finding your zones right off the bat like any other grind. What you want to do right now is you want to discover your drink zones at these 4 lakes. The name of the method that I'm teaching you is the 4-lake method for a reason. Everybody has the exact same black bear zones at this lake, this lake, right there, and this lake. This is what's called a home range. Our zones will spawn in the same places. Now, you do have to worry about this lake, and this lake, but we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit in the guide to keep things more simple. Right now, what I want you guys to focus on doing is discovering the bears at this lake, and this lake. And what you can actually do is you can full-blown copy my setup, meaning that you can put your tents and your tripods exactly where I have mine at. You can actually copy the setup at all of these lakes if you really want to. But these 4 lakes here, you do need to copy the setup at. So right off the bat, I would suggest that you discover your drink zones at these 4 lakes and copy my setup. Now, you should have some females at these 4 lakes. Maybe every single zone has females in it if you're unlucky. We're going to go ahead and move into the next step in this guide. After finding your drink zones and getting set up, really there's not much for a setup guide. I feel like I'm being too brief here, but I mean it doesn't get much more simple than copy Squid's setup. I usually go into detail and tell you guys exactly where to place the tent, the tripod, but I guess that's not necessary for this grind. If you really want to know that criteria, I'd suggest that you go watch one of my other Great One guides from recently as I cover it in every single guide. But realistically, there's no point. All you gotta do is copy my exact setup. Alrighty folks, so at this point, you should have a decent amount of your drink zones discovered. All of your drink zones discovered at these 4 lakes and my setup copied. Now we're going to talk about the very next thing that you need to do. And for teaching you this, I'm actually going to give you a demonstration. I've purposely left a female here just to make this guide. So, the goal with these 4 lakes, if you have any females there, which chances are, I mean, at least at one of the lakes, you probably have a female. If not, then several. The goal here is going to get these females swapped out with males. Now, it's a very, very simple thing to do. So as you can see, I have a female here. We're just going to quick make sure. I already know there isn't, but just to be extra safe, we're just going to make sure there's no other females at this whole lake. Let's see out here. Okay, it looks like we're clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this female for now, and we're going to go to any other zone on the map besides these 4 lakes. So I guess I'm just going to pick, let's go see what we can find at this lake here. And what you're going to want to be looking for in these other zones is a male black bear that's a level 6 or above. Now, we're not herd managing yet, there's no complicated stuff yet. HM plays no part in this guide so far, so don't worry about anything like that. Swapping your females is a very simple thing to do. You just gotta give your boy Squid a chance to find a level 6 black bear, which may or may not be very challenging, because I am like medium herd managed for my black bear. Not all my zones are shot down, but quite a lot of them are. If this makes no sense to you, completely ignore me for now. All you need to understand is the problem and the solution. The problem is we have a female black bear in our 4 lakes, these 4 here, and in order to solve this problem, you need a male black bear that's a level 6 or above. I'm going to talk about why once I actually find one. Okay guys, I'm just going to make this way easier for myself real quick. I've been to like 4 lakes and all my bears are tiny. Maybe I'm more herd managed than I thought, I don't know. But let's just play some pretend here. See this male? Pretend that's a level 6, not a level 4. Now I found this pretend level 6 in this zone right here. Now you want to remember that. So what you're going to want to do, once you've found your level 6 male black bear, which will be a much easier thing to do if your map is fresh and you're not herd managed like Squid, is you're going to want to go back to that zone where the female is. And what we're going to do here is we're going to shoot that female, we're going to come back and we're going to shoot this male. Now you're not going to want to claim either one of them. So let me go slower here. You're going to go back to that zone where the female was. She was right there. Shoot the female. We're not going to claim the female without doing anything. No time resets. No main menuing. Anything like that. There should be a dead female laying there. You're just going to jump across the map to wherever you found your level 6 male black bear at. Doesn't matter where. It just can't be at these 4 lakes. And you're going to want to shoot and not claim that male black bear. For me, it's just this pretend level 4, okay? I'm sorry I couldn't find an actual level 6, but I want to keep moving with this guide. I'm sure you guys get the point. Just pretend that level 4 is a level 6. You never want to shoot a level 4. And the reason for this is because when you shoot a level 6 or above in one of the other zones, it'll maximize the chances of a big bear swapping with your female. You technically could swap it with this level 4 if you wanted. I mean, it could jump up there as a 9 legendary, that's just how RNG works, but also for sakes of herd management, shooting a bear that's a level 6 or above to swap with your female will help you later on. We'll talk about why in just a little bit. So, let's go ahead and go shoot that female. I guess I'm going to shoot a level 4, just for an example. I don't really think it's going to harm anything. All I've found is small bears, so. Alright, here's my female. We're going to go ahead and take this out, just like so. Shoot her one more time. She's going to be dead right there. We're not going to claim her. And you got to remember where your level 6 male was. My pretend one is right here. And then here's our pretend level 6. Mind you that it doesn't have to be a level 6, it just has to be a 6 or above. So it could be a 7, it could be an 8, or it could also be a 9. But if it's a 6, it's fine. So we're just going to pretend this is a level 6. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that. Wait for him to die. We're going to leave him there. And now what's going to happen, this is where people get confused. It's very simple. All you got to do is go to an outpost. Doesn't matter which one. Set the time back. I suggest setting it to 7 a.m. just because that's the time that I always set it to in my Great One Black Bear grind. It's an hour before they stop drinking, so frankly it spawns them in faster. It's just more of an efficient time for me. You're going to want to go ahead in main menu after you reset the time back. And now what just happened is obviously both of those dead bears are not going to be there anymore. Therefore, they respawned. Now since you shot a female and you shot a male, there's a 50-50 chance that they can swap zones when they respawn. Now if you shoot them both and don't claim them, and you continue with your rotation or you go hunt something else without resetting the time and main menuing, there's no chance, and the male will probably just respawn at that lake you shot it from. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and jump through your 4 lakes. You're going to want to look for either a new male or one less female. For me, this is a very easy thing because I've only ever had one female at these 4 lakes. So if I go do a rotation and I don't find a female, or maybe I find one extra bear, that means it worked. If I go through and I find a new female, could be the same level, could be a new level female, that means the female respawned, and that female will only respawn into these 4 lakes. Because like I said, these 4 lakes are a home range. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump through my main 4 zones, and we're going to see if we can find that female. If I do end up finding another female, then what you're going to want to do is repeat the process. It usually happens after like a try or 2. At least that's how it's been for me. When I first started my black bear grind, I had like 5 females. We have a 7, a 5, and a 6 here. And I swapped out all my females with males in like a day's worth of playing. So realistically, it's not that bad. I'd say the worst part is going to find a level 6 or above every single time it doesn't work. And you're going to need to do this process for each individual female. So if you have 5 females at your lake, you're going to need to do this process. Find a 6 or above in a zone other than the main 4 lakes. Shoot that 6 or above. Make sure you shoot the female. Don't claim either of them. Reset the time, main menu, and see if they swapped. It will happen. You might even get lucky. It might happen first try. I've had it happen first try. It's really not that bad of a thing at all. And from that point, once you get your females swapped out of your main 4 lakes, if you're not going to use herd management, you're literally good to go. All you really need to do is find your zones at these 4 lakes. I'd suggest finding your zones at the jumper lakes as well. Copy my setup, swap your females with your males, which I just taught you how to do. And once you have males to shoot, every single one of these lakes is getting good males. If you're not going to use herd management, you're good to go. But mind you this, if you're not going to use herd management, you're going to spawn a lot of level 3 males, you're going to spawn a lot of level 4 males, and you're going to spawn a lot of level 5 males. You're not going to get a diamond every single rotation unless you use herd management. Now, honestly, shooting a diamond every 5 seconds gets boring after a while. And the reason that the black bear grind is my favorite grind, despite the fact that we're running through the mountains at 7 o'clock in the morning to a beautiful sunrise, making it probably the most relaxing grind in the entire game, is because I shoot 1 diamond roughly every 300 kills. And the reason for this is because I'm not fully herd managed. I shot down probably 50% of my exterior zones for the bear, and I love the bear grind. I love it so much. I've spawned 4 great ones. I mean, I'm 13,000 kills into a great one grind right now, and I'm still not bored. The bear are just notorious for having really, really long great one grinds for some reason. It seems like a predator thing, same thing with the red fox. And if you get really unlucky, same thing with the wolves. I've seen some really, really long grinds out there in the community. So yeah. And another thing to clear up is herd management does not increase the spawn rate of a great one, period. That's one of the biggest misconceptions out there. The developers have told us that animals, including great ones, spawn off of a system called RNG, or random number generation. And unless they lied to us, or their version of RNG works differently than any lottery machine or any other game on the face of the earth that uses RNG, it's completely random. And herd management, which is changing the locations of where your animals spawn at by filling zones you're not set up on with tiny animals and not allowing anything to spawn there, thus forcing all of the big respawns into the zones that you're set up on, is not going to increase the spawn chance of a great one, or any animal frankly. The only reason that you get so many diamonds with it is because every other zone on your map has nothing in it but tiny animals once you're herd managed. Even if you're not herd managed, if you're shooting thousands of males, you're going to spawn a lot of diamonds. It's just that they're not going to spawn in those main zones you're set up on. They're going to spawn at random places on your map, as when you're herd managed, you don't have to worry about jumpers, and you really don't have to worry about anything once you're herd managed, because pretty much your entire population, besides all of your small animals, will be inside of those zones you're set up on. It's crazy the way it works. So therefore, you do not need to herd manage for the black bear. I've had a lot of success with them. In fact, I've had a 10 kill grind with the black bear with no herd management. I spawned 2 in 1 day one morning when I was live. The day that the mule deer great ones got announced, fun fact. If you remember that, drop a W down below. But if you guys are going to use herd management, it's once again pretty dang simple with the bears. It's just very, very time consuming because they basically drink everywhere there's water here in Silver Ridge Peaks. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what you need to do to herd manage your black bear grind right now. Okay, so to herd manage your black bears, what you're going to need to do is first and foremost find all of your drink zones. You have no choice but to find all of your drink zones. That's if you want to do herd management normally. If you want to do it the way I did it, which is find about 60% of your drink zones, and then just herd manage those zones and take the risk of not knowing what else is on your map, then you can definitely do that. The only difference that it's going to make is you're going to have slightly smaller bears. You're going to get a little bit more level 4s, 5s, and probably an occasional level 3 in these 4 lakes when you're shooting your males. So after you've found your desired amount of drink zones, what I would suggest that you do now is you do a few runs. Even if it takes you 300 kills, spawn a few diamonds. It will happen, even without any herd management whatsoever. As long as you do enough rotations between these 4 lakes, you can spawn a few diamonds. I'd recommend spawning 3 or 4 diamonds and leave those diamonds in these 4 lakes. Okay, that's step 1 to herd managing. Step 2, once you have some diamonds in those zones, is going to be to go to every other zone on the map, or at least as many as you possibly can, and shoot any black bear that are level 6s, 7s, 8s, or obviously 9s. Leave the level 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. Females play no part in this grind, besides right at the beginning when we swapped them and whatnot, but that was a while ago. Don't even gotta worry about them anymore as long as you swapped them out. And people really overlook this grind. Over 70% of the black bear population is females, so realistically there's not even that many lakes to shoot down. The hard part is just finding the lakes with the shooter males at it. And again, just for extra clarification, a shooter male is a level 6 or above. A male that you leave is a level 5 or below. And if you remember here a second ago, I told you guys to leave those diamonds in those 4 lakes. The reason that I told you to do that is because having those diamonds in those 4 lakes while you're herd managing will make the game force spawn more small animals, which is exactly what you want to happen. Having those diamonds in these 4 lakes is going to make it so that way the game force spawns more level 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and level 1 male bears are really rare, but there's probably at least 1 on your map, into all of the other zones besides the main 4. And you want this to happen because at every other zone on your map, when you're herd managing them, you're shooting those level 6s and above and leaving the level 5s and below. So therefore, making your game spawn more of those level 5s and below is going to make it a lot easier. Because to say, for example, I found a level 6 at, I don't know, this lake here, I shot that level 6, and obviously that level 6 is going to respawn. There's a good chance it could respawn at this lake, but there's also a good chance it can respawn somewhere completely random at every other zone besides this main 4, because like I said, this main 4 is a home range, meaning that the bears that are in these 4 lakes will only respawn at these 4 lakes. So what I'm going to need to do is find the respawn of that level 6 that I shot, and if it respawned is another level 6, a level 7, a level 8, or a 9, I'm going to need to shoot it again and its respawn until it comes back as a level 5 or below. Now I know this sounds complicated, but what I would suggest that you do, or how I would suggest that you think about it quite frankly, is when you're herd managing, simply just pick a lake, run to it, and if there's a level 6 or above, shoot it. You don't need to worry about where your bears respawn, real picky about it and whatnot. It's very simple. If you go to a water source, other than these 4 lakes obviously, there's a level 6 or above, shoot it. If it's a level 5 or below, leave it. If there's a zone with only females, great, you don't even gotta worry about it. There tends to be quite a lot with the black bear because 70% of their population is females. And you can do this as heavily as you want. The more heavily that you do it, meaning the more level 5 males that you leave out here, the more diamonds you're going to spawn over here. Because when you're filling zones with small animals over here, the game obviously needs to spawn more big max weight animals, those 7s, 8s, and 9s. And it literally can't spawn them out here because there's nothing but tiny animals in all these zones. That is if you've herd managed enough. So what it's going to do is it's going to spawn those max weight animals into the zones that are being shot more frequently. And if you're great one grinding, you should be shooting the absolute crap out of these 4 lakes. Even in the process of herd managing, I'd still suggest coming out, doing a rotation between your 4 lakes at least once an hour. I mean, at the very least, I know if you really want to herd manage, you just want to grind out, but spawning those 4 diamonds at a minimum, shooting the crap out of these lakes even while you're herd managing is going to help you out, trust me. And you just want to keep doing this until you get a diamond as much as you want. If you want a diamond every rotation, then chances are you're going to need to shoot down every single lake. If you're fine with a diamond every 100 to 300 kills, then shoot down about half of them, 60%, 70%, it really doesn't matter. It's completely your choice. I'm not even nowhere near fully herd managed, and I've spawned like 9 diamonds in a row before. But then I've also gone like 500 kills without a diamond too, it's crazy. Honestly, I think it just puts more thrill into the grind to have no idea when your diamonds are going to show up, versus shooting them every 5 seconds, but that's totally up to you. Okay, so just for a little bit of recap and some clarification here, for herd management, in your 4 main lakes, you're going to want to shoot every male that you see. Unless it's a diamond, I just taught you guys why you might want to leave diamonds here because it'll help you herd manage, remember? Once you're satisfied with your herd management, you can go ahead and take those diamonds out. That's one thing I forgot to say. Other than that, in these 4 lakes, you shoot every male that you see. Doesn't matter the level, if there's a male there, you shoot it. All that herd management is going to do is make those males that you're shooting bigger over time. I've seen a lot of people leave the 5s and below in the zones that they're set up on, out of confusion because I just said to leave the 5s and below, but you gotta take note that I said you only leave the 5s and below in all the zones you're not set up on, aka your exterior zones. The 4 lakes are your main zones. Every other lake on your map is an exterior zone. You're shooting down the exteriors, and your main zones you just blast away. The only time you'd ever want to leave an animal in your main zones is if it's a diamond, because it force spawns more small animals, as I just taught you. The bears aren't spawning in, so therefore I need a main menu. Swapping females, again, is a very, very simple thing to do right off the bat. You find your female, you know exactly what you need to do. You need to go to another zone besides the 4 lakes. Find a level 6 bear or above, shoot that level 6 bear or above. Don't claim it. Shoot the female, don't claim it. Doesn't matter if you shoot the male first or the female first. You just want to get them both dead on your map at the same time without claiming them. Reset the time, main menu, and there's a 50-50 chance that they should be swapped. And speaking of, that whole last rotation, we went to every single lake, and I didn't see a female. So it literally worked first try mid-tutorial. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. Now, if there's a new female here, it probably didn't work. No, there's a level 6 here. I usually do get good males here, but that female's been hanging out in this specific spot for months, literally months. So I think it worked first try, guys, unless she's around the corner here. Like I said, it's usually a pretty easy thing to do, though. Yeah, there's just a mythical over there now. It definitely worked. Let's go, man. And one more thing I did forget to mention is you don't need to worry about hunting pressure at these 4 lakes, or really any lake, because black bear are predators, meaning that every single one of their zones are basically solo zones. And if you know anything about Call of the Wild, when you shoot a solo zone, it just deletes. But like I said, with this home range of 4 lakes, you don't got to worry about zones deleting, because it's either just going to respawn on the other side of the dang lake, or it's going to come back in one of those other 3 lakes that you're going to be at within the next 5 minutes. So it makes not having to worry about things like hunting pressure very, very nice. You don't really got to shoot them in tripods. Although, some zones I do shoot in tripods because it gets you a really nice shot. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. But hey, that's pretty much the black bear grind. By far my favorite Great One grind in the Hunter Call of the Wild. It's so relaxing. If there was a grind that I would pick to do at 3 o'clock in the morning besides the wild boar, it would be this one. Wild boar is definitely a close second for me, in case you can't tell. I love that grind. I think it's even more relaxing with the new scenery, but might just be because it's new. I just like it because the wild boar is a sunset and the bear is a sunrise. They're both just so much fun. But if you guys did find this guide helpful in any way, shape, or form, please let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing, as it is very, very much appreciated. And it really does help support the YouTube channel. We're growing so fast. It's honestly insane. Like I said, our goal is 50K by the end of 2026. I know that we can do it. You guys just got to keep sharing the videos, keep smashing that like button, join the Discord server. The link for that is down below. We have the best Call of the Wild community on the internet. Very, very passionate about it. We know we're the best. I mean, I'm in there 24/7. It's so inclusive. Everyone is so nice. There's literally people in there who will just help you out of the kindness of their heart. I voice chat in there all the time. So if you want to talk to me, join the Discord server. That's my best advice for you. As always, my name is Squid. You're watching Squidster Outdoors, and we'll see you guys in the next banger. Peace out, my gamers.